Grandpa here. You know, when I did that vlog about Kennedy, it brought back a lot of memories for me. 54 years ago today, my dad got into a car wreck. 54 years ago today, my life changed forever. Before then, I was a playful little boy, had a daddy who would go out with me and play football, do things, take me to places, you know. But on that particular morning, the 23rd, my daddy was out that night. He'd been drinking. He tried to take me with him. Mama told him no, I had to stay home. He decided he was going to go visit his mama in North Carolina. On the way there, he wrecked his car. Mama was mad because he left and went like that. She packed us up. We went to my grandmother's in Oler, South Carolina. And Mama was talking about leaving Dad. That Saturday, Mama knew something was wrong. She didn't know what. The phone call came to my grandma's house. It was the South Carolina Highway Patrol. Mrs. Green, you need to get back to Charleston. Your husband has been in an accident, and he's in the medical university. Mama packed us up. My grandma says, "You're not going by yourself, honey. I'm going too." So we all got in the car, and Mama took off to Charleston. Mama was flying. We got to Charleston and got home. There were neighbors came over, you know, and what's going on? We saw the state troopers here at the house. We didn't know what was going on. Mama didn't say a word. She put us in the house. Grandma came was with us. Mama took off down and met you. Didn't see Mama for 2 weeks, but Mama would call. Said, "Get in touch with your grandmama." Told my grandmama, to get in touch with the other grandmama and them, and tell them that Daddy had been in the wreck and he was paralyzed from the neck down. I didn't see my dad for 8-9 weeks. I was a little fella, you know, 8-9 years old. So we got a chance. You can bring him up because we don't know how much longer he's got, because they didn't expect Dad to live. So we went to the hospital. I was too young, but they were going to sneak me up the back steps. Daddy was on about the 9th or 10th floor. They were going to sneak me up the steps so that I could see him. And one of the nursing aides there that got to know my mama, them real good, was going to sneak me into the room to see my dad. But on the way there, I got sick and came down with diarrhea and throwing up, and I had to sit in the car because Mama had to go. It was bad. I mean, there was my dad and Mama. Back to Mama. Mama would go to the hospital and stay all night long. And then during the day, she would go to work. Well, this went on for months and months and months. And they had Daddy on a striker frame. And finally, they would just let me go up, you know, because Daddy'd been there for so long. He was on a striker frame. And there he was in a striker frame, had some tongs in his head, but tied to a rope and a bunch of weights down. And he was in the striker frame where they had to turn him every so often. And when I usually go up there, he'd be facing down, and I'd get on the floor. I'd crawl under the striker frame and talk to my dad. He didn't hear me. He didn't know I was in the world right then, but I knew he heard me. My dad was paralyzed from the neck down. He couldn't move his arms. He could swing his arms, but he couldn't move his hands. He couldn't move his legs. Finally, one day, the hospital got in touch with my mom. They said, "Ms. Green, we have to do something here. The insurance is cut off. There's nobody paying this bill now. Either you make arrangements to pay the bill, or we got to put him out." My mother went to a senator we had called Senator Fritz Hollings. I was a little boy. She carried me with her, and he looked at her and he said, "Miss Green, you're a young woman. Start over. Forget about him. Go on about your life and give that boy a good daddy that'll take care of you." My mama eat his ass out. She said, "You sorry son of a bitch. You garbage. That's my husband. And we got married for good and worse. For everything. Not until you get into a wreck and you're paralyzed." So mama left. Somebody got her in touch with Mendel Rivers. He was our congressman. Mama went to see Mendel Rivers. Mendel Rivers got all the information he had to have. He told us he'd get this man in a VA hospital, get him there today. They said, "Well, this protocol, Congressman Rivers." Congressman Rivers said, Screw the protocol. I want this man in a VA hospital, and I want him there by 6 o'clock tonight." That night, Daddy was in the VA hospital. And you know, I know I'm jumping guns. I'm going from here pillar to post, but these are all these memories that are rushing through my head. You know, you don't think about chronological order at times like this. My dad loved me. I love my dad. But you ask why I don't like Thanksgiving? This is why. My dad got hurt just before Thanksgiving. My dad was a good man. My mother was a great mother. She raised 2 kids when everybody else was saying, "Dorothy, you can't do it. Let your brother raise this one. Let this brother raise that one." Let me tell you something. My mom said, "Screw you. They're my kids. They're not going nowhere. They're mine. They're not leaving Charles and I." Christmas, my mama was, that first Christmas, we had nothing. We had no tree, no nothing. Mama was working for GEX, which is a government exchange store. And they came over and they brought us a tree and groceries. And I think that's why, you know, I like helping people, because we were helped when I was a kid. It's just, it's impossible to say everything that I want to say. You never know what's going to happen to you in life. You never know. My daddy loved me. My daddy got drunk, true. My daddy got in a car wreck because of his own choice. That's true. But my daddy spent almost 40 years looking up, asking for forgiveness. If that man wasn't forgiven, then I don't know who could be. It's funny how one thing can trigger memories of something else. I love my dad. I love my mother. My dad paid for everything he ever did. For 30-something years, he paid, and he paid, and he paid, and he paid. I'm telling you, youngins, if y'all drink, if you do, don't get behind a wheel. My life was changed forever. I don't want your life changed forever. I really don't know what else I can say. Over 50 years ago today, Charles Green had a wreck. I love you, Daddy. I miss you so much. Now you're gone. Mama's gone. Charlene's gone. I got nobody left. Everybody else, that's why oh my God. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cry like this. This has hit me hard now. You know, my sister passed away this year. My niece passed away this year. I guess I'm feeling all alone in the world now. 54 years ago today, my life was changed forever. And I remember today, like it was yesterday. A strong woman raising 2 kids, taking care of an invalid husband. And now it was the 4 of us. Now it's just the one. I don't know if Michael's gonna put this up or not. But I hope it helps somebody, because if you're out there and you're hurting over family tragedies like this, you're not alone. You're not alone. There's a lot of us in the same boat, and we all got a paddle. At least Daddy's in a pretty place. Let me scan this place. It's a beautiful place.